Welcome to Ordinary to Badass, episode number 358. In this episode, I'm going to tell you 3 reasons why Darlene Green is so badass. And Darlene, in case you missed the last episode, she is a stem cell technology consultant, retired Navy commander, and she worked in tech. So much goodness from that episode. Go back, give it a listen. Today, you're going to hear the 3 reasons why she's so badass. Before we get there, I just want to encourage you to take a moment for yourself. I think there's been a lot of craziness, especially in December, and sometimes it takes a little bit to unwind. It takes a little bit to give yourself permission to relax. I'm cracking my neck as I'm doing that. But give yourself permission. Do something for yourself. The holidays, usually pretty selfless, and you're running around like crazy trying to get everything ready, and it leaves you stressed out, overwhelmed, tired. Take a nap if you need. But I just really want to encourage you, take 5 or 10 minutes for yourself today and just chill. Just do something that makes you happy and relax in that, right? Do something for yourself. There's nothing wrong with doing something for yourself. If you want to be your best for other people, you got to be your best for yourself. All right, with that, let's get to the episode.
Be confident, be bold, be authentic, but don't forget to take action. This is Ordinary to Badass, where our stories empower women to step into the spotlight of their own lives and pursue what they're truly passionate about. It's time to step into the arena and become more than just extraordinary. It's time to become a badass with your host, Marie Sonneman.
Welcome to Ordinary to Badass. Whether you're ordinary or badass, I am so glad you're here. Today, I'm going to share 3 reasons why Darlene Green is so badass. Now, Darlene, 3 reasons, I'm just going to tell you up front, the 3 reasons why she's so badass is for defying limitations that were imposed by others, for her unwavering resilience and her endless persistence. And then number 3 is for becoming a Navy commander and going from that Navy commander to being a tech maverick. Her story is amazing. Definitely go back and listen. But if you're short on time, here are the 3 reasons why she's so badass. And then you can listen to that one later. Okay, Darlene defied limitations imposed by others, and she did this over and over again. She was a huge advocate for sailors, and even when she was told she couldn't do something and there was bureaucratic mess getting in the way, she pushed past it. She found a way to do it anyway, or find an alternative route that she could do that would work just as well. So she really found herself being an advocate for the sailors. And so many times we're told we can't do something and we just accept it. Okay, yeah, fine. You're the expert. You told me I can't do it. And then we let it go, even if it was our dream or something that would have been an awesome opportunity. And just because somebody else says no, you can't do it, I'll stop, right? We stop and we don't proceed ahead. This is something huge we can learn from Darlene because she was so good at proceeding ahead anyways. When Darlene went to do a weekend warrior program, she was in the Navy and she's like, okay, I want to put on this weekend warrior program. And she was told no, that it wasn't for her, that she couldn't do it. And she found a way to do it anyway. Again, an example of her pushing past the no. Just because somebody else didn't think she could do it doesn't mean that she can't find a way to do it. Doesn't mean that it's not beneficial, that it doesn't have a huge impact on families. And if you know in your gut, sometimes you just have to find an alternative way of doing it. And if your boss is telling you, no, you can't, okay, is there a go around? Maybe it's a matter of continuously putting it in his head, right? And sometimes the first 2 times, 3 times, 5 times, no. And then it's like you planted a seed and they're like, yeah, that would be an amazing idea. So don't be afraid. Just because somebody else doesn't think you can do it, it doesn't mean that you can't do it. You're a badass, just like Darlene. Okay, other ways that Darlene is so badass as far as defying limitations. Man, with health. Health is a huge one. I think it's easy to just listen to the doctors and to think, yeah, they have it all figured out. They know, they're the expert. And Darlene does not do that. She, for her husband's Alzheimer's, and then she had an autoimmune disease, and she just wasn't going to listen. She wasn't going to accept what they were telling her. She's like, no, there's got to be a different way. And she said, I don't believe in just accepting. If you don't know and you're telling me there's not a way, there's not a cure, then I don't believe anything that you say. And she's going to go find a way to fix it herself, which I love. That's so encouraging, so empowering. It's like, yeah, you could just find a way to fix it yourself. It might not be easy. It might be a long journey, but what if? What if it just was up to you and you could fix it yourself? You could try something else. Maybe change your diet, get rid of alcohol, get rid of a certain type of flour, like she was talking about. Test, 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 and do research and read. Doctors don't know everything, right? And sometimes they have to make recommendations and they make it on the masses, what people are willing to do and what they're not willing to do. And so if a lot of people are not willing to do it, they're just going to assume you aren't either, right? Or maybe it's a medical thing and insurance. If you want to get backed by insurance, you have to give a certain recommendation or a certain prescription because of the prescription company. Now, I'm not trying to come up with all these like crazy conspiracy theories, but there's some truth to it, right? And to just have that mindset, like, nope, if you can't fix it, then I'm going to fix it myself. And you can figure out a way to get through it. That is a badass mindset. That's a warrior mindset. That's a perseverance mindset. And it's funny that I say that because number two, the second reason why Darlene is so badass is because of her unwavering resilience and her endless persistence. She withstood a lot of challenges or has withstood a lot of challenges in her life, and she didn't give up. She bounced back. She kept persisting forward, kept moving on, persevering through the hard things. I absolutely loved when Darlene said this.
You cannot grow and do new things and get better and even transformational growth without mistakes and challenges and issues. And, if you're not making mistakes, you're not trying new things and you're not growing. So you have to look at mistakes as like part of the path. Mistake, progress, success. Mistake, progress, path. Success.
So she said it should be mistakes, progress, success. Mistake, progress, success. So you make a mistake, then you make another mistake, then you make a little bit of progress, and eventually it leads to success. That was like my favorite thing. I absolutely loved it because so often we think that mistakes are stopping us or mistakes are fatal. Mistakes are fatal. That's what we think. I know I used to think that, and I would beat myself up over every little mistake. Like, nobody else around me, you guys, you're not making mistakes. It's just Marie. And that's how I saw things. I really did. And so every mistake was like heightened. No, if you want to do big things in this world, you've got to make mistakes. Mistakes are a good thing. They're a great thing. It's hard in the moment. I know I get down on myself in the moment too. Like, crap, I made that mistake. But in the big scheme of things, they are amazing because they teach you how to succeed. So make those mistakes. Embrace the ones you make and think, what did I learn from this? What can this teach me next time? Another way that Darlene showed resilience is like she was in two abusive relationships, and that can really take its toll on you. It's easy to get into victim mode or to feel bad for yourself and always have a low self-esteem or low self-confidence because of what other people did to you. And now, if you're going through that, I am sorry. It's pretty normal, right? To have low self-confidence, low self-esteem when somebody else has been picking on you, beating on you. That's normal. But then it's like she got herself in a safe place. She got herself out of the situation. And what I love is that after she's out of that situation, and she probably took time to heal, whatever, but then she bounced back. She was resilient. She didn't let those a-holes, she didn't let them define her. right? She grew from it. She learned from it. And she's like, okay, I'm not going to get in one of those relationships again. I'm not going to do that to myself. Darlene is persistent. She gets back up. She's told no. We talked about that with her defying limitations, but she's told no and she does it again. She gets back up and she goes. She doesn't let other people stop her. She doesn't let limitations stop her. She bounces back and then she goes again. She's very persistent. I've always said be persistent and consistent. And I think it's huge to keep showing back up and do it consistently. And then a year, 2, 3 years down the road, you're amazed at what the outcome is. You could be a completely different person in a short amount of time. And we underestimate what we can accomplish in a year. So take it from Darlene, be resilient, and also be persistent. And the third reason why Darlene is so badass is because she went from being a Navy commander to going into tech. And in tech, she was like the director of client services, something she completely wasn't used to. It was a completely different world, seemingly. On the surface, it was a completely different world. And she went for the position anyway. She didn't have any tech qualifications, and she went for this position. And HR was like, no, I'm sorry. You don't match the qualifications. You have no tech. But she, you know what she had? She had leadership experience. She was great at leadership. And that's what mattered. And so I can't even imagine putting in for a position where you don't have half the qualifications, or like for a tech company when you don't have the tech qualifications. That takes some balls. That's badass. I think this is something us women get stuck in so often when looking at applying at jobs or even within your field, right? And you want a promotion. If you don't have 100% of the qualifications, then you don't put in for it. And then you would miss out on something great. And maybe you would be the best person for the spot. But if you're not selling yourself, you're not going to get the spot. And what I loved about what Darlene shared is like they rewrote the job description just for her. Man, how can we rewrite the job description for you? When you're applying for somewhere, go in with confidence, go in with gusto. Maybe you don't have all of the qualifications, but you could be a great leader, and that will get you the job, is your leadership skills. If it doesn't, it's their loss, right? But you don't have to have 100% of the qualifications to apply. Think, they can rewrite the position, like the job description for me. That's cool. I love it. I think that is very brave. That is very admirable. But here's the thing, like guys do it all the time. Just for some reason, most of us women do not. So I love that she did that. I think that's paving the way. We need to see other women in leadership roles. So Darlene, she's a versatile leader. She's done so many different things. Like, obviously, Navy commander to tech maverick, crazy, right? That's not normal. You don't see that. That's disrupting industry norms. But maybe that should be the way of doing things. Maybe you don't have to have a tech background. It's actually about your confidence. It's actually about your mindset. Maybe it's about your leadership skills. You don't necessarily have to have the skills in order to lead, just have to be able to listen and to observe, right? You can get feedback from other people, but you don't have to have 100% of the qualifications. Make the job fit for you, or they can make the job fit around you. But don't be afraid to put in or to try new things, even if they don't look on paper to be 100% right. But if you have that feeling where you would be a good fit for that, you would be a good match. Now's your time. Step in, put in for it. What's the worst that they can say? No. Matter of fact, I think Darlene was told no initially by HR. They told her no. And then the boss brought her in for an interview and was like, yes. And then they made a whole different job description for her. So you can do hard things. You can put in for things that seem out of your comfort zone. How can you tweak it a little bit to make it in your wheelhouse? Tech wasn't her wheelhouse, but leadership was. So look at the things in your life that you can adjust to how they would fit for you, how your leadership style would fit for that position, right? That's what you probably have to explain, is all of those skills you have that would be a great fit for that position. Okay, quick recap. 3 reasons why Darlene Green is so badass. Number 1, she defied limitations that were imposed by others. Number 2, she had an unwavering resilience and endless persistence. And number 3, she went from being a Navy commander to a tech maverick. Okay, with that, we'll end the show. Tell the badass women out there staying in the arena, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, own it and get after it.
Now that you've listened to this episode of Ordinary to Badass, we want to hear from you. Go to our website, ordinarytobadass.com/podcast, and submit your own experience on how you took your life from ordinary to badass and get the chance to be on a future spotlight episode of the show. That's ordinarytobadass.com/podcast. While you're waiting for the next episode of the show, wipe off the sweat, dust off the dirt, and get back in the arena.